film Ex Machina is a story about two individuals testing an AI. A young coder at the world's largest internet company wins a competition to spend a week at a private retreat belonging to the reclusive CEO of the company. This CEO is named Nathan. On arrival, he learns that he must participate in a bizarre experiment which involves interacting with the world's first true artificial intelligence, which comes in the form of a beautiful female robot. Watching it, I realized the beautiful marvel of filmmaking that it truly is. Great script, great acting, and elegant direction. Yet I was still surprised at finding it hidden Easter egg. It kind of reminded me a lot about these old-style Kubrick movies. Very elegant, very symmetrical, very clean, and a lot of crazy shit hidden in between. So there's a clear inspiration in style and theme, but the movie is its own. First and foremost, I'm impressed with its intelligence on the subject matter. So when I found out that the secret code in the film is actually a hidden ISBN and Python code, I quickly added to the Amazon cart, read the book, set it aside. It's a cool way of sharing an Easter egg. The director actually recommends the audience read a book. It's a cool little thing to do. I'm fascinated with the matter of the mind and what makes us tick. A book on consciousness that doesn't deal with the metaphysical terms or any woo-woo terminology, I'm in. After having some time to reflect on both, I'd like to share some thoughts. First and foremost, it's a dense read, but like the film, it's fascinating and worth checking out. So, what the book says about the mind, the book tries to create a universal template for what consciousness entails in a physical realm. It creates an argument for the mind-body connection being one and the same. Having embodiment is having consciousness. It later aggregates ideas that have been expounded before, explored about the mind, and argues that our minds need a central processing unit for the various inputs that our nervous system receives. So the chaos is filtered out as various systems are in place to decide what is relevant and what is not. The signals are dealt with individually in the central cortex. This includes not only signals from the outer world, but the inner world, our thoughts affecting the landscape. Put another way, when you look at the words on the screen, when you're looking at this video, for instance, you're not looking at the outside world. And when you're looking at the outside world, you're looking at your surroundings, you're not looking at this video. You can only perceive one thing at a time. Not to say you can't do multiple things at a time, but the more you do, the more you're thrown into process. The same applies to someone thinking. Take a gardener tending to his vegetables. He's lost in thought. Much of what he's doing is automatic. Not much processing is done on the actual task at hand. If you were to ask him a specific question about what he's doing while he's thinking about taxes and lunch and all these other things, you're going to get a blank. The idea has been stated before by others like Robert Anton Wilson in his various works of fiction and non-fiction, specifically his seminal work, Prometheus Rising. And then this is a quote from the guy. Now, I've shown you what you can't say all about anything. You can't say all about the universe, you can't know all about this room, you can't know all about this, and yet we think we know ourselves. What you really are is totally unknown and by definition infinite, because you can't experience all of it at one time, and you can never know it all at one time. Every day you can find new aspects about yourself if you allow yourself to change and grow. And the best way to allow yourself to change and grow is to realize how little you know and to pay more attention to what's going on around you. What the film does, the movie shows us Ava, an AI robot that eventually betrays us, the audience, like our main character. We are manipulated into thinking one thing about our character, given certain cues, and we make assumptions. Ava manipulates us, just like Caleb, an outsider into believing she is helpless. She finds him emotionally vulnerable and exploits him as a means out of her prison. While this film can be interpreted as an anxious take on what sentient machines are capable of, I believe it is more of a misanthropic take on what we are capable of as conscious individuals. Deception is the root of all conversation, which is this film. Just a series of conversations, different rooms, and people lying.